U.S. firm drags Tunji to court over multi-million-dollar contract. Oh boy. The U.S. firm has dragged Tunji, the Minister of Interior, to court over a contract, over a multi-million-dollar contract. And this is the same person that has been dragged into Beta Edu's investigation, because the company that belongs to him and his wife actually had, benefited from the fund transfer that happened from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation. So another one now is coming and more trouble for him. These people are really criminals, I tell you. You see them, they look good from the surface, but they're doing very dangerous things at the back end. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji has been dragged before Abuja High Court for awarding a multi-million-dollar contract without the Federal Executive Council's approval. Hey, baga. I said this government go thief past Buhari government, not be here. An American company with a branch in Nigeria has sued the minister and two others, Nigerian Immigration Service and the Minister of Justice, for breach in contractual agreement. The company, DCA Global LLC, and its affiliate in Nigeria, DCA United Services Limited, through its lawyer, Olale Konjo, son, is claiming that it applied for the establishment of passport application support centers in 12 countries around the world for the renewal of Nigerian passports. In 2016, we received, developed, and sold to the federal government through the Ministry of Interior and the Nigerian Immigration Service the idea of establishing international passport enrollment for renewal centers in 12 countries under the Public-Private Partnership Program, an initiative of the federal government. In the originating summons, the American company is also claiming that the project is projected to be generating revenue of over $700 million to the coffers of the federal government. So it said the number of countries to be covered by the planned exercise were increased from 12 to 25 before the change of government on May 29 last year. So with the increase in the number of countries to be involved, the expected revenue was also increased from $700 million to over $3 billion naira annually. Oh boy. So the American company said it conceived and developed the said idea, which went through Nigerian Immigration Service, Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, and the Federal Ministry of Finance for the approval, which was granted. Then after the production of the outline business case, the Immigration Service forwarded the same to the Federal Ministry of Finance, Foreign Affairs, and the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission for certification and project acceptance. The company said after these processes, approval certificates were issued to the immigration by them as project acceptability, viability, and indicating a 70-30% revenue sharing to Nigerian government and the American company. So he said after the approvals and certification, an advertisement were placed in some advertisements were placed in some newspapers, and requests for qualification by immigration stating the project will be procured under a Swiss challenge procurement methodology, which requires that if the private original project proponent is not the most responsive bidder, it will be given the first right of refusal to match the most responsive bid to win the contract. So according to the claimant, Ministry of Finance instructed the immigration to proceed to negotiate the terms of the contract with the prospective private investor prior to its presentation to the Federal Government Council, Federal Executive Council for necessary approval. The only outstanding thing left is for the full business case to be prepared in the name of the claimant and forwarded to ICRC and FEC for consideration and approval. So it said only for the Minister of Interior to bypass all these and announce the commencement of the project to another company without recourse to the claimant. Oh boy. So this is breach now. This is breach. So it is therefore asking the court to restrain the defendant from acting on or taking any further action on their decision to deny or deprive the claimant of the right of first refusal. So it is also asking the court to restrain the defendant from inviting, considering, or further considering any bid for establishment of passport application support centers in these countries. So it is also asked for 50 million naira being cost of damages. Oh boy. So this is a breach. After this company developed all the blueprints and all the documentations and procedure and execution case or project case, okay, they gave it to the government, which passed through immigration and passed through some other parastatals for verification, and then forwarded back again for review and approval. Okay, and part of the condition is that, you know, even if the government is going to give that contract to someone else, this company that developed it should be given the right of first refusal. Then if they refuse, they cannot get someone else to do the job. But even without calling for any refusal attempt, not even putting the originator of the idea in perspective, they went and gave that contract to another company. And so this company is now reacting to that situation, telling government you must reverse that contract and then give us the right, for first approval or first refusal before you can go ahead to look for another alternative contractor to do the job. So how come? Okay. So how come these people did this kind of thing? Do they not know? Or impunity is what is worrying them? As I say, Nigerians are wicked people. Tinubu must fish out passport racketeers. They want this Minister Ojo out. They want it to be business as usual. Okay, so this person is trying to support the Minister Tunji. Okay. Somebody said the only minister doing well. How? The question is that for him to do well, it means that what has gone under the carpet for him is huge. It's huge. So somebody said, was Tunji aware of or part of the initial negotiations? That's another thing you need to know. Okay? People without knowledge of law comment based on tribal sentiment, since most of them didn't even know how certain this function, how this function operates. Now, if your narratives are true, Tunji has broken the contract. That is it. He has broken the contract because you did not give the originator of the idea and who prepared all the blueprint the right of first refusal before awarding the contract to another contractor. It's breach of contract, and that has to be discussed. I sensed Ojo detected fraudulent act, hence he acted swiftly. Can you imagine? The way I'm looking at this Tunji Ojo, people are looking at him from far and thinking that he's the best. Nigerian politicians cannot be trusted. Okay? Even if he's trying to do a good job in that ministry, compare what he's doing versus the resources at his disposal and see what is left before you start praising him. So thank you for listening. Let's have your comment. Another case for Tunji Ojo. Now he's in court to defend himself.